I don't know how well you can tell. I'm going to hold my hand out. But this is the fresh landslide. I've now gone through and put in probably about 40 or 50 Salix disc-colored branches. They're all male, so they're not going to self-seed. I'd like to come back over with a whole bunch of the honey locust seeds that I had collected and throw them down there. I have followed a path that goes roughly like this. So we can start our way back and see how many different views of this we can get. I have definitely had only one hand available for the whole thing anyway, because there's another hand full of branches. So there you go. Sorry I'm shaking. Trying not to. So I believe it let go from this outcropping and slid the whole way down to the lower level. Now I'm not going to go onto this fresh sliding ground, but here's an example of what I've just done. And there's about 50 or so of these tucked in the hill. Of the options, you can see these houses are definitely at risk now. They probably have been for quite a while, because I don't think that this part's very new, but I know that this part here is very new. You can see the deer damage along here too. There's they rub their antlers and strip the bark. So there's actually more green sprouts at the base of this little sapling than farther up, and there's signs of that along a lot of these trees. I don't know how alive this tree is, but I think it might be a locust. It's kind of hard to tell if it's still living or not by looking up into it, because it's fall, but look at that. Sorry, I'm shaking. That is quite the sheer drop. Now I'm a ways back, and I'm holding on to the tree. But, let's see. I put a couple in this, but I'm not seeing where I put them. I put a couple of branches in here. We'll see how many we can actually spot on the way back, because there's 40 or 50, and hopefully all of them will take. That would be ideal. I tried to put them a bit off where the deer are obviously walking. And where the deer are walking is where I'm walking too. I stripped many berries out of the pokeweed here and threw them down, because that's a pretty good perennial root structure too, and they take pretty quickly. So that will definitely help. I put several up in there. I put a few up in here. There's one. Right in the back there. Yeah. Trying to tuck them away from where they'll just get trampled or eaten. I don't think that willow is a very prime food for the critters, but I could be wrong. Here's one. Here's one. Here's one. So those are all really close to each other. Then the ledge is just right here, so that's ideal to have as many as possible planted in. Have some tucked between the bricks in here too, but it's tough to get roots going between all the bricks. As you can see, I slid a little bit, but the deer are just going to do the same thing, so... Ouch. Thorn. So, yeah, that's what we got going here, is hopefully some soon-to-be willow trees that'll just spread and take over. I put more on my side out of self-interest and out of just accessibility. This bucket here is what I'm working out of. It's got pruners next to it, and I made about 3 trips here, going back and forth with them. Not disturbing anything that is growing, because we want as much root mass along this mess as possible. So another good solid spot to stop and take a look at how bad that is. That's pretty bad. So yeah, I'm going to come at least this far again and throw some of the honey locust seeds that I collected a while back. They're a good pioneer species. They have nitrogen fixing and a pretty solid root structure. I think most of them at least are thornless, so they should do pretty well. But thornless is a mutation out of honey locust. It can happen to have thorns, but I don't think that really matters that much in this case. Nobody's going to be climbing that hill enough to worry about whether or not there's 3-inch spikes sticking off of a tree. At least they shouldn't. So you can see there's been smaller landslides over the years. This has regrown pretty well. But since we have this starting, I put 4 or so along the edge here. Don't worry, it was just this branch. Stepping on it on purpose. Because what I want is for the deer not to walk on these. I don't want this to be the deer path. I want this to be the deer path. So just stack some of these broken branches of the dead trees up along my new planting here. Broken old toilet bowl. And then here's my working station, and the neighbor said I could come in and out through their yard, which saves me quite a lot, because again, it's way over there where my terracing system stops, which is a good, I would say 100 or 150 feet over, but not close enough for comfort with something as big as this. I put quite a few down in here because this ended up being pretty stable to get down into. Put a bunch along the edge here, and I'm just really hoping that this will get the this embankment stabilized. Tree roots and grapevines are about the only thing, and large shrubby things are about the only thing that are going to hold this hillside in. So, one more trip for honey locust seed pods, and I'm going to call it a day. It's supposed to rain later on today, and I don't know how soon that's going to happen, but I don't want to be on this cliff when it does. So there, my channel's got drama. 150 foot up the hill. Dear, oh dear. Alright, you take care, be safe. Gonna take a couple pictures here. Yikes. Alright, bye.